Welcome to the Johnson After Show. I am your host, Dani Canada, and we are unpacking tonight's episode with Thomas Q. Jones and Deji LaRay. Now, if you're watching this and you have not seen the latest episode, make sure you download Brown Sugar to get caught up and then come back and chat with us because we're going to be spilling all the tea tonight.
Yeah,
how y'all doing?
Good.
We got Omar here. We got Greg here.
Back in the hot seat.
Back in the hot seat. And speaking of the hot seat, Omar is in the hot seat at this anger management class. He's getting his ass kicked, but he is trying to do the right thing. And I think this is an honest and real moment because it plays on Black mental health.
Right.
Why did you want to include that in the show?
I think, this was an opportunity to just, expand upon this conversation. We don't really talk about that much in the Black community, due to just obviously the past history of Black Americans, especially mental health wasn't an issue for us. It was just pushed to the side. And fortunately for now it's become more of an issue and more of a topic of conversation. And to kind of show this Black man who stereotypically would have anger issues, therapy's not really promoted to us.
Right.
And to see him actually take on the challenge of, going to therapy, actually listening, and being able to kind of, put himself in a position to get help is something that I think we need across the board in the Black community. So it's very important to touch on that.
Now, Deji, in this episode, we also see the real reason behind Greg's commitment issues. He downplayed it at first, trying to make it seem like, oh, it's about toothbrushes and gelling down edges. But in real life, Ari left him for her work husband.
Yeah.
Listen, how has that been affecting him, and why does he know the breakup timeline to the day? 19 months.
To the day, to the hour, to the minute. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I think the misconception is that, men don't go through the same range of emotions that women do.
Yeah.
Right? We do. We especially if it's somebody who we love, somebody who was a part of our lives to the same extent that Ari was a part of Greg. They were in a long-term relationship. It affected him, and so, we start to get a glimpse as to why he has his commitment issue.
Yes.
We don't get the full scope yet, but I do think that, deep down, Greg was awaiting this opportunity, to see her, to have a conversation with her, to see if he still felt something, and so this was his chance that just happened to happen by chance.
Yeah.
I'm not just other people. I was your fiance who left you for my work husband. And now you find out we broke up. You would not be in the wrong to be breakdancing in your head right now.
So despite Greg being in a new relationship, if he's keeping up with a timeline like this, 19 months, is he really fully healed? Has he really fully coped with that breakup?
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Obviously not. No. I mean, that's a habit that a lot of people do. Is there's a saying to get over somebody, get under somebody new, and we've all done it, and a lot of people do it, and it's definitely unhealthy. You can't be at your best for the next person if you're still connected or tied to somebody else emotionally. So I mean, this is just one of his faults and one of the things that he has to try to get past.
And I also would say a lot of times men don't necessarily get that benefit of the doubt. Most of the time he's already written off.
Yeah.
So in this situation with Greg, he clearly is vulnerable. I mean, he proposed to her.
Yeah.
She called it off for her work husband, someone that she was working with the whole time. And I think a lot of people, hopefully they'll see how traumatic that is for him. And even though he's a man, he still has these emotions, and he's still hurt and still left vulnerable. So I think the way that the relationship is set up and the scenario is set up, it will definitely give people an opportunity to see exactly what men go through in those situations.
For sure. So I will give Greg the benefit of the doubt. He has been hurt. But in real life, I feel like some men do run away from relationships. They don't want to be involved. Is it that they have too many options, you think, Thomas? Do they enjoy bachelor life? Like, what is it?
Well, let me just say.
Interjection.
Look, I mean, we have to start we have to stop assuming the worst. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some dudes out there who ain't no good. All right. Just like there's some women out there who ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? We all have our faults, but I think, a lot of times, let's just say with the man who is in a situation, a relationship, and he gets ghost or he leaves or whatever because he has commitment issues. How do you know that he's not trying to heal himself? How do you know he's not trying to protect you? How does he know? How do you know he's not trying to protect your feelings? He's looking at you like, you know what? She has her stuff together. She's a queen. She deserves this, and this, and this. And I'm not really at that point right now to be able to give it to her. So I'm gonna let her fly high and do her thing, and I'm gonna fall back and work on myself. Now I know that sounds a little far-fetched, right? No. I know that sounds a little far-fetched, but men do think like that.
They really do.
Men do have these conversations. It's just really hard for women to give us the benefit of the doubt to really fathom that sometimes it is that deep. Right. And maybe it's not as thought out as I expressed it. Yeah. Maybe it's more of a subconscious thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think when men say it's not you, it's me.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
Right. That is taken in a totally different way with some women. They think it's you full of it, you trying to play games. But there could be also several reasons why they don't want to say that they don't want to commit to you in particular. Maybe it's something that they saw that you did. Maybe it's, something that they didn't agree with. And a lot of times it's very hard to be honest, completely honest with a woman sometimes because, number one, you don't want to hurt her feelings.
For sure.
And number two, you don't want her to, look at you as a bad person, especially if you're not. So there's a lot of stakes in a lot of situations to telling a woman the full truth. And I know women are probably going to be like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
This is some top-tier mansplaining.
But yeah, we giving it to you raw from how we actually, see things and from a perspective that I think women don't really take in consideration sometimes. It's not saying that certain guys, don't have commitment issues, commitment issues, but there are some guys that have a specific reason why, and they just don't feel comfortable enough to be honest.
And those guys are oftentimes just lumped into this broad stroke
That's
of,
not fair.
Men ain't this or men ain't that or whatever. And I think it's just on a case by case basis because, like Thomas said, the reason the situation can vary. So if it's worth it to try to figure that out and digest that and have conversations and try to get to the bottom of it, then I think the two people in that relationship should do that.
Do you think that Mr. Commitment Phobe can learn something from Mr. Commitment himself, Omar?
I mean, I think he's learning.
Yeah.
I think he does look at his situation and this guy's leading by example. Omar's leading by example. I think Greg is taking heed to that, but I also think Greg can be judgmental at times, and he's looking at Omar's flaws, like, well, you ain't got your stuff together either. You know what I'm saying? And I think oftentimes we shoot the messenger if everything ain't perfect about the message. Sometimes you just gotta look at the message and pick and choose what's right for you. Right. You know what I'm saying? And what you can adapt to your life, and then leave the rest, But I think Greg is a little more cut and dry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't showing up and showing everything 100%, then I'm writing you off.
I can see that. I can see that. Now, another scene that we see in this episode is Jarvis is on the golf course, and he is being called bright and well-spoken. This is a clear microaggression.
It's a great opportunity.
Why me?
In addition to Kevin boasting about how bright and well-spoken you are, we wanted to give a minority a chance to shine.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to give it some thought if that's okay.
So why did you think it was important to include that moment in the show?
Yeah, because the further you move up in status, those are the types of microaggressions that you encounter.
Yeah.
It's real. People look at black people who are at a certain level and say, they don't really deal with what I deal with. And rightfully so. Obviously, it's different. It's a different type of microaggression. It's a different type of, racism at times. But we all go through the same thing. So we just wanted to show all levels of the black man from Greg all the way up to Jarvis,
Right.
in terms of like his occupation
For sure.
and what he has to deal with, and see if Jarvis is going to accept it to move forward, or is it going to be something that he holds dear to him, say, nah, I'm not gonna go for that.
Right.
You know?
And it's also an opportunity to show the people who are at that level what that type of microaggression looks like.
For sure.
So if you're watching it and you're thinking, well, I've said that before. Well, you've probably been a little condescending and you didn't know it. Because it's teachable. Obviously, it's this show is about teachable moments across the board, not just for the black community, but for everyone. It's a very diverse show. We show different perspectives from different cultures, and I think that's important because black people just don't live with each other. You know what I'm saying? We're a huge part of the world. So like you said, it's a teachable moment, and we want to take advantage of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of Omar and Greg throughout this season of Johnson on Bounce. Thank you so much, Thomas P. Jones and Deji LaRay.
Thank you, Dani Canada.
Listen, you can tune in and watch all new episodes of Johnson on cable, satellite, or over the air. Find Bounce in your area by going to the URL right below.
Shine.